Now, final thing I want to touch on. The only reason this wasn't higher in the talking points, uh, the Pistons big men dominating tonight, and James Wise specifically. The only reason this wasn't higher is because, as I kind of said, this Hornets team was kind of set up for Jalen Duren and James Wiseman to feast upon. Nick Richards was their only big. They're playing Grant Williams at the 5 at times, even maybe Miles Bridges at one point, and they just have no big men, no vertical kind of presence. Like I said, Nick Richards, serviceable backup big, but can't really defend the pick and roll too well because he's not very athletic. And credit to Wise and JD, they absolutely dominated. So JD had 20 points, 10 boards, 8 of 10 field goals. As I said, was just rolling to the rim at will, getting offensive rebounds. Felt like he dunked absolutely everything. And then James Wiseman, similar story, 10 points, 9 boards, a block in only 18 minutes. His third consecutive really strong game. I think it'll be actually in the community notes on YouTube and it'll be on my Twitter, but he's averaging something like 12 points, 7 boards, a block, and he's a positive net rating in his past 3 games and super impressive. The rebounding is huge. He's always had that finesse around the basket and been able to score when he gets opportunities. But the rebounding, I feel like he's been so physical. And I spoke about this when I was at the Summer League in Las Vegas. I was doing recap videos for the Detroit Bad Boys. And the one thing I was looking for with Wise, just all the way back in Summer League in July, was him just using his 7'1" frame and being dominant and, exerting his kind of willpower against lesser competition. And he did that tonight. Had a huge poster dunk on Nick Richards. Poor Nick Richards tonight. Just, yeah. He was up against it, but Wise, he had like this. It's like he drove left, hop step to like the right, and then just dunked it with one hand, almost like a bit of a tomahawk on Nick Richards. And it was just a full display of everything James Wiseman can do in one play. Like he had the handle, the drive, and then just to show off the finesse and footwork for a guy that high, then to be able to dunk like that, like that's like the full potential, and that's like why he's still getting minutes. And I'm not at the stage where I'm going to do this big apology for Wise. I don't think anyone gives a shit about that, to be honest. Like sometimes I think we as content creators can come on here and apologize for something we've said, and ultimately no one cares too much. But I'm just happy for Wise. I have probably been against his minutes at times, but he's rewarding Monty Williams now recently for his faith in him. And I'm just happy to see that for Wiseman, regardless of what I've said about the lineups this season. Wiseman's past 3 games definitely deserves some love. And I hope he continues to play like this, because if he can close the season in this kind of form, that is a tough decision this summer, because and that's a good, tough decision to have. How much do you pay Wiseman? Do you bring him back? Do you trade him? Is another team now interested in him? Either way, it's good for the Pistons and Wiseman if he continues to play like this, because it creates more opportunities for Wise, more money for him, and then likewise for the Pistons if they're able to bring him back and he can continue to play like this. I thought it was really cool. The Hornets broadcast, I can't remember one of their sideline reporter, I can't remember her name, but they actually did a little segment on Wiseman and kind of his role on the team. And she spoke about how Monty, or one of the coaches, said Wiseman's one of our best drop defenders in the pick and roll in terms of positioning, in terms of his activity. And I thought that was awesome praise. And something to definitely think about, especially when we talk about Jalen Duren's defense. Like James Wiseman, I think gets a lot of heat for his defense, but I think the coaching staff sees something in him and he's rewarding them 100% right now. And also just the last final thing, Taj Gibson and Wiseman seem to have a really cool thing going. Taj has only been here for like a week, I think, but those two are smiling on the bench. Taj, like after that dunk, like getting around him, like Taj Gibson's energy has just been awesome to see on the bench. So shout out to him for bringing the energy and making sure these young guys keep their heads up, because it's it's helping. I'm not going to say it's the only reason Wiseman's playing well. That would be incredibly disrespectful to Wise, but I think just having a vet there in his corner, cheering him on, supporting him is, it all adds up. So we didn't really touch on JD. I think, 20 points, 10 boards. He just loves playing the Hornets. I'm still forever grateful the Pistons and Hornets made that trade and the Pistons were able to get Jalen Duren because, the Hornets commentators couldn't stop talking about how much of a talent JD is. And I think sometimes I can get caught up in focusing on what he can't do on the defensive end, which is probably a bit unfair. But, when you hear other teams talk about Jalen Duren, they're enamored by the size, the physicality, and then all of that just at his young age of 20. It's a pretty remarkable combination and something I probably should work on being more positive and grateful about. So shout out to JD as well. I think that'll do it for today's show. We'll be back for the next game. I really need to get the schedule up in front of me, but I'll be back to recap the Pistons next game. As usual, drop a comment below. Let me know if you're at the game. I've really enjoyed people commenting and letting me know they're at the games. For some reason, I love it. Maybe it's because I can't wait to actually get to a game at some point in the near future. But drop your Pistons thoughts below. But until the next episode, as always, go Pistons.